What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us on Robert Garcia Unfiltered. I'm sorry we were supposed to record earlier last week and this week. We were supposed to post a videos talking about the fights from this past weekend and stuff. But obviously, as you guys have heard, the news that my dad will be training Anthony Joshua for his rematch against Usyk sometime in July or August. There's reports now that I might be in August. With all that going on, my dad took off. He's, as you guys can see, he's over in the UK now. Well, you guys can't tell, but yeah, he's over in the UK now. Started training camp with AJ, and yeah, that's what we want to talk about. We'll be doing another video where we talk about the fights from last weekend, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolando Romero, and we'll be talking about this upcoming weekend's schedule. We have, I believe 2 cards on Saturday, and then a card early next week with Donaire versus Inoue 2. But this weekend's fights are going to be insane. We have Danny Roman versus Stephen Fulton, which is on paper one of the best fights you could possibly make in any weight class at 122 pounds. The unified champ, Stephen Fulton, going against Danny Roman, who was the former unified champ, lost his titles to MJ. And yeah, we'll get going with that, you know, in another show. But this episode wanted to dedicate just talking about the recent news of you training Anthony Joshua. Came to us, the surprise of a lot of people. You know, a lot of reports came out earlier in the week, but I just saw an interview that AJ did himself with Michael Benson, where he talked about training with you, you know, some stuff like that. How did this start to begin with? How did they reach out to you? How did you get the news that you were maybe one of the candidates to train with Anthony Joshua?
Well, we kind of knew already since December but in December when I came to London to meet up with Anthony for.
But how did that happen? How did they?
Well, you know, obviously everybody seen that picture where I was with AJ, but you know that picture is old. That picture was in October when they went to California to talk to different trainers. They went to California, I believe Texas also, and met up with different trainers. And in December, they still hadn't told me that I was going to be the one to take the role as a trainer. But when they flew me into London last December, I was here for almost 2 weeks. You know, we started already working on what I would like to see from him, especially against Usyk, you know, on the rematch, you know, the stuff that I would like to see from him. And ever since, you know, everybody else had told me, look, Robert, we think you're the best fit for AJ to come and join the camp, but he still, you know, wants to still think about it, wants to see about other trainers. So I don't know who else they were still talking to, but most of the guys working with them had already told me, look, more likely it is going to be you, but you know, AJ and the rest of the team still wants to figure out and see if there's anybody else that could probably, you know, they could check out. So I don't know who they were talking about, but since I left in December, I've been in touch with Angel Fernandez, who is the trainer here. When, you know, he was already the assistant trainer when they had the other trainer for the last fight. So they've been working on stuff that I told them to work on. All this time, you know, they send me videos. I talk to them often to see how training is going. And then I flew in again. I think it was March or April. I think I flew in again March or April for another, what was it, like 10, 12 days?
Yeah, another 2 weeks.
Like that, 2 weeks. So it's not, you know, it's not like they brought me in this Monday to barely start training and barely,
That is your
knowing that
third
I'm
time
gonna,
there already.
the work has already been done. The work has already been going on since last December. We I've been here twice already for almost 2 weeks each time, and Angel Fernandez has been in touch with me a lot of time, most of the time, telling me what they've been working on, and I've showing me videos and stuff like that. So it's something that's already been going on since December. So AJ's already been working on a lot of things that I told him to work on, and I started this week. The fight was supposed to be scheduled for July 23rd, but now it looks like it's a possibility that it might move to sometime in August, which is also good. Gives us more time together. We it could give us 10 to 12 weeks, so that's plenty of time. AJ has one thing in mind, and it's to get that win. He's a very competitive person. He hates to lose. The every day in the gym, he reminds us how bad he wants that win, how bad he wants to get that rematch and get the win. And he's thinking like a fighter. He's thinking about going out there to do his job, to hurt his opponent, to win, to dominate, to hurt him bad. And that's the mentality that he needs to have. Obviously, Usyk is a great fighter, man. Usyk is on a lot of people's top pound for pound list. Great fighter, very very smart, very slick, and being the smaller guy makes it even awkward, a little bit more awkward. But I'm here to do my job and do what the best thing that I can do is and train them to get these titles back.
Yeah, we did our updated pound for pound list sometime last week, and I think both of us had Usyk as the number one guy on our pound for pound list. With him being the undisputed champ at cruiserweight, then he moves up and beats AJ.
I'm not sure if I had him as number one, but he was top 2, 3, yeah, definitely.
Before we get into that, I wanted to before we get into the fight itself and the game plan for the fight, just to make it clear, a lot of the people were saying, that maybe not might be enough time and this and that, but like you said, this is your third time going out there already, and with somebody like AJ, talk to us a little bit about what you're gonna do in camp. Not necessarily like game plan stuff, but little things that you want to change from AJ, because he's a two-time heavyweight champ already. He was unified world champ. He's an Olympic gold medalist. You can't change a fighter in 10 weeks. But if I remember correctly, we talked about the fight when he fought Usyk the first time. We did a podcast and we talked about it. And the only thing that you said that he really needed to change was his mentality. Not so much. Yeah, there's some stuff, game plan wise, that maybe he shouldn't try to outbox someone like Usyk. Maybe he should use his size, use his strength, his power. But you said back then, before we, this was even a possibility, you said the only thing he really needed to change was his mentality. He needed to go in there, like you said, trying to hurt his opponent. And is that basically what you're trying to do? Because like I said, he's already the two-time heavyweight world champ. He's already an Olympic gold medalist. There's not much, stylistically, that you could really, really change with somebody like that. But, what is it that you plan on changing?
With AJ, already very athletic, very, very dedicated to the sport. He's focused, in every fight, being an Olympic gold medalist, fighting the best in the world, and then to the pros to become heavyweight champion of the world, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. That's already huge accomplishments. And to a lot of fighters, they come off a loss, and this probably after the Andy Ruiz fight, they come off a loss, knowing and thinking that was never going to happen. So it affected him. Mentally. He probably thought, maybe that's the end of my career. Maybe that's it. So he's got a lot of things. He had a lot of things going on through his mind. I think that's one of the most important things that that affected Anthony. And that's what we are, I'm here to do, to change, me and Angel and other help that he's got, because he created a team of not only me or and Angel teaming up and preparing the game plan and training him with the right strategy or the right sparring partners to go out and perform. But he hired other people that are also very smart, not boxing trainers, but just different people that could help with maybe with his, the way he's thinking, somebody that's with him, thinking positive with him. Everybody around him is positive. Everybody around him is pushing him to what to his limits, to what he was doing before he lost his first fight. So I think that's one of the main things. One of the main things, he needs to know and believe that he's still as good or he's going to be even better than he was before he became champion for the first time, when he went out there and was knocking everybody out, because he's one of the most powerful heavyweights in boxing right now. So he needs to go back and know that that's the type of fighter that he needs to fight and go out there and try to hurt his opponents. Like I said, a lot of times when a fighter is so good, so accomplished with gold medal, two-time heavyweight champion, sometimes they might get a little too comfortable, might think, oh, I already lost the fight, so maybe I'm not as good. So it gets to their head. It's something that we have to change, because he already did it. He already won the gold medal against the best fighters in the world, and the best fighters in each country. He already beat it as an amateur, and then as a pro, he also did beat the best to become heavyweight champion of the world. So we didn't see that before he lost. Until after he lost is when we seen that there was more of a mental problem. So we're working on that. We have to push him and training and sparring. And we're he's already been sparring. He sparred the first day I got here, and he's going to spar tonight again. So the work is going to be done. He just have to go out and perform. And I think he's got the tools. He's one of the best heavyweights out there. Talent wise and power. When it comes to power, he's got it. He's got it. So I think it's it's going to be a good challenge for me. I love that. I've been in this before with many other fighters that people don't believe in anymore. People think they have no chance, and we go out and pull up the win. So I think this is going to be another one of those cases, and it'll be a big one.
Yeah, that's one of I think that's what's really defined you as a trainer. That's what people I guess people, managers and promoters and stuff, they trust you with, because since your first world champ, you had Steven Luevano, who had already lost. Not a lot of people had a lot of faith in him. They sent him to you. You make him world champ. Brian Valoria had already had a few losses before he got to you. You were able to make him world champ again. Someone like Maidana, who was already planning on retiring, had lost his first fight at welterweight to Devin Alexander, and they sent him to you, and you guys go on this run where he beats. He had I believe Soto Caras, Josito, Broner. He had one more fight in Argentina, and then he had the two Mayweather fights. You just completely revived his career. Then there's guys like Gradovich who get a call 3 weeks before a title fight, goes in there and upsets Billy Dibb for the title. You have Joshua Franco, who goes in as a 7-1 underdog against Maloney, also with like a 4 weeks notice, and pulls off the upset. Just that the most recent one, he might have gone into the fight as a betting favorite, but bam, gets called with a week's notice, 1 week ahead of the fight, and he's able to get the win and win his first world title. So this is not something new to you. Kind of not rebuilding a fighter's career. Is that the most satisfying way for you to win these big fights?
You know what? Out of all the fights that you mentioned, I think the
Abner also had already got knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez.
Because when Abner came to us, we did not have any fights before. He came to me not knowing that he was going to fight Cuellar. He was training to, well, he came to me not knowing he was going to fight Cuellar one day, because Cuellar, was my former fighter and former champion. But he came to me, just to get back in there in boxing, and get back into his his rhythm. Like I said, not knowing that it was going to be that we're going to fight Cuellar one day, because we never even mentioned Cuellar, but they gave him that call, and that was, I don't know if I ever told you guys, but with Abner is where I got the most calls from people telling me not to do it, telling me don't do it. Abner's already finished. He had got knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez, and a lot of boxing people were telling me don't do it. He's, plus he's not even focused anymore. He's out, hanging out with people, and Abner has a lot of friends involved with music and everything, restaurants and everything. So everybody was telling me he's too distracted. He got knocked out really bad. So, you don't train him. But it was a challenge for me too. It was a challenge for me to get him back, and look, we won that title where, when they told us you guys are fighting Cuellar, we never said no. We never said, oh, let's wait a little bit longer. We said, because I knew he could do it. The way he was trained, the way he was boxing, I knew he could do it. And I trained Cuellar before, so it was a better feeling. But yeah, those are the type of fights that actually push me a little bit more to work harder and to accomplish something that very few believe we could do. And it's happened many times with us. You mentioned them all, and I think AJ could be another one.
What would winning the heavyweight world title mean to you as a trainer? You've trained world champs like Carlos Licona, who was a 105-pound champ. Brian Valoria, 108, 112.
108.
Bam and Josh, 115. You have a bunch of featherweight world champs. Nonito was 118, 122, 126. You've had lightweight world champs. But there's something different about having a heavyweight world champ. There's a different kind of, it's a different, I don't know how to describe it. Having the heavyweight champion of the world, having a unified champion in that weight class, that's the baddest man on the planet, you could say, the biggest, baddest, boxer in the world. What would that mean to you for your career, to know that you were able to train somebody to become the heavyweight champion of the world, and especially in this circumstance, coming off of a loss? It just made it, honestly, those wins we were talking about, it makes them a lot better. But the heavyweight champion of the world is different. What would that mean to you as a trainer?
You know what, in boxing, I've always thought it was going to be hard for me. It's hard for me because of the size and just the way, it's just different training, because they're just too big, too heavy to do what a 108 pounder does. And that's what we do in the gym. Most of our guys are lighter weight, where they work a lot and work hard. But it's a little bit of a difference. But, just the fact that a heavyweight champion is, I'm training a heavyweight champion that's going to fight for the world title. That's huge. I love, all my, winning the 108s, 105s, 115 titles. But man, the heavyweight champion is what everybody hears about. And when heavyweight boxing was not that big in the last 20, 30 years after the Tyson Holyfields, there was like 20 years that nobody cared about heavyweights. People didn't care about the rest of boxing either, like just regular boxing fans. I'm not, people in boxing, obviously we love the sport and we work with everybody. But I think when the heavyweight division is on top of the world, like it is right now with all these big fights with, Joshua, Fury, and all these huge fights. Wilder. I think, yeah, exactly. I think it just gives it a bigger name, a bigger win to become champion in the heavyweight division. Because right now it's hot right now. The heavyweight division is one of the hottest divisions. Everybody tunes in. Even random people that are not boxing fans, they want to see the heavyweights fight. That's the way it's always been. So man, it's one thing that I want more. I think we still have a lot of young fighters that that could become champions in the future, but it would be just unbelievable to say that I have a heavyweight champ, that I made a heavyweight champion of the world. That's why I made this decision. I love that challenge. I know very few people give them a chance, but I love that challenge. I've done it before many times. Now I'm planning on doing it with super heavyweight.
We won't get we'll be doing more interviews obviously and stuff as in the coming weeks where we'll get more into how training camp is going and stuff like that. But the plan is for you to be out there obviously with him the whole time from now up until his fight. But we got a Bam Rodriguez. That's the one you when you were talking to them, I believe you told them 2 fights. It would be Bam, and if Joshua were to fight,
I didn't say certain fights. I just said if I get any of my world champions, to fight, then I want I want to be able to travel for a few days to their fight, and that's the first thing, knowing that Bam already has a date, and we've been in the gym with him for the past 6-7 weeks already. So the last 4 that I left, you, my dad, Chip, and Art, are already going to continue doing the work, and Bam is okay with it. I had a good talk with my whole team, and everybody's okay with it. Now that they're talking about Franco fighting Estrada sometime around end of July maybe, or sometime in August, and if he fights before AJ, then I'm also gonna go to his fight. I have to be at the fights. I know that in camp, they'll be fine with you and my dad, and the rest of the guys with sparring and everything. Can't get any better than with the work that they're already getting, especially Bam right now that is getting ready for a fight. Josh, we already got the guys that we know he's going to have to train and spar with, so he'll be fine. I will, be traveling to their fights also. I know that Jose Ramirez is going to fight, end of summer, maybe
September,
somewhere around there, September. So it'll give me time to be back and pick up with Jose. You guys could get started with him, and I'll just go in there and pick up. So I think it's gonna work out perfect. I think so far things are going well. The few days that we've trained already, he's shown that he's hungry. He wants to get his titles back, and he's focused on one thing, and that's beating up on Usyk.
That does it for what we're gonna talk about today. We just wanted to get a quick little conversation about Anthony Joshua. Like I said, he recently did an interview where he talked with Michael Benson about you training him and stuff, because I know we were, this, like you said, this has been in the works since last October already. You've already been out there. This is the 3rd time you fly out there, but we've kept it under, we haven't really talked about it. We hadn't said anything about it. But now that the news is out, you're training Anthony Joshua for his rematch, scheduled right now for July 23rd. But, we're reading now that it might be pushed back to sometime in August. But yeah, that does it for today's episode, guys. Again, we will be talking a little bit more as the weeks go on. Every Sunday when we do our shows now. Obviously, my dad's gonna be in the UK. We'll be here. The next time we'll see him will be in San Antonio, June 25th. Bam Rodriguez versus Sorung Visai. Make sure you guys buy your tickets. Make sure you guys tune in on the Zone. We will be posting another episode right now talking about the fights this coming up weekend. We got Cambosos versus Devin Haney. We got Stephen Fulton versus Danny Roman. Then I believe on Tuesday, Nonito Donaire versus Naoya Inoue, part 3. And we'll be talking about Tank versus Rollies as well. So make sure you guys tune in.
And Nonito's part 3?
Part 2.
Oh, it's just the rematch.
Yeah, on Tuesday. Yeah, it's on Tuesday, my bad.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that, and Tank versus Rollies as well. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Again, we will be giving you guys more content on how things are going in camp with Anthony Joshua. Stuff like that as the weeks go on. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon.